Am I allowed to speak? Am I allowed to speak now? Is that okay? Is that acceptable? Can I speak? Hi, guys. Hi. Yes, it's impossible to know when exactly the cutoff is going to happen with this, so I speak later. Hi, guys. What can you do? What can you do? How's it going, guys? Good chapter? Good chapter? I know, my Momo jumper. Pretty sick, huh? Now, this is not available on safetysonrookie.com. This is not the kind of merchandise that you can purchase from safetysonrookie.com. But, I like it. You know, I like it. I think it's pretty neat. You know? It's from a TV show. A little-known TV show called Dandadan. You know? Called Dandadan. It's the Momumpa, yes. I hate that word. No, I don't like that, actually. No, I don't like that. Hi, everybody. How we doing? How we doing? Yeah. I think that is the vibe I'll start bringing. Someone's feeling, oh, no. I hate that. Yeah, it's crazy that they decided to go with fart powers. I did not expect that. You know what it is, as well? It's like, with Dandadan, you can say the most fucking ridiculous shit. And for anything else, it would be a ludicrous concept. For example, the fart gas powers being a pretty hard counter to the Lord of the Flies. You know? When he uses his fart gas extermination jutsu. I'm pretty sure that would be a pretty hard counter to the Lord of the Flies ability, but hey. That's Dandadan, man. You know? It was a good chapter. You know, like... part of me is kind of like, obviously I want to be up to date with everything that's happening with you know, the main gang, as it were, right? Like that, the main gang, right? Especially because stuff's really heated up at the moment. But it's kind of also like, I find it's nice to kind of like take a minute away from that, just a minute, to go and check something else out, just because it was getting pretty intense at times. It was getting pretty extreme at some points, and my poor heart couldn't take it. So having a little bit of time away from that to focus on other characters is actually quite nice, especially Rin and Kouki, because obviously, right, we here, and I say we because I mean we here at the Safety Zone rookie broadcast, right, we aren't always the nicest to Rin as a character, okay? And look, hey, I just want to express really quickly that this kind of comes from a place of, I want more for the character, that's all. That's all, right? I've got no problem with Rin, I've got no beef with Rin specifically. Yeah, we, all of us, I've got no beef with Rin specifically, I just find she's underutilized, that's all. So having her get a little bit of kind of a boost here, I'm for it. I'm all for it. I'm on your side, you know? Yeah, no, I'm on your side, guys. And, you know, like, one of my biggest criticisms has always been the outfit, right? I've always felt that the outfit just felt like it almost belonged in a different manga. But what she's wearing, you know, the outfit in this one, I think is fucking badass. Fake fan. No, please. Please. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. You know, let's all be fair here. Let's all be fair on me. Right, I see. Everybody's jumping ship now. Everybody's jumping ship now. But, you know, you were all just as bad as I was. You've all said worse shit. You've all said worse shit than me. You know? I'm just not afraid to say it. I'm just not afraid to say it. God damn it. Look at you all running like rats from a sinking ship. It's disgusting. It's despicable. Right, we're off on the wrong foot. All right, we're getting off on the wrong foot. This is the last stream of the year, guys. Okay, so let's not get off on the wrong foot. This is video 100. This is our 100th video, guys. So think about that. Think about that when you're all this whining and crying about stuff, and here we are on our yeah, pretty cool, huh? I know, we did it. We made it. 100 videos, guys. That's incredible. You know? Which is like what? Like, that's absurd, isn't it? I know. You're late. You're late to the 100th video. You're not gonna get your commemorative T-shirt. No, Sky is a bit under the weather recently. She's just not feeling very well. So I've decided not to force her onto camera today. You know, she's having a day off. She's having a day off. Poor cat isn't well. But yeah, look. So as I was saying, guys, you know, we've got a good chapter though. We've got a good chapter. This is actually one of the better fight scenes. It's a bit weird that we've got the fart gas. Thank you, Nachan. 11 months. Holy shit. Holy shit. We're almost at a year. Some of you guys are almost at a year on memberships. Holy fuck. That's wild. That's wild. The apology tour. I'm not on apology tour territory yet. And frankly, I've got nothing to apologize for. Nobody's brought forward to me any kind of evidence that I've got anything to apologize for. I just want better for Rin. I want better for Rin. That's what it is. If anything, I'm the good guy. Well, I can understand why some people don't really... Well, I like Kouki a lot. I think Kouki is excellent because not because she's done something more than Rin. It's again, they don't need to be in competition. The two characters don't need to be in competition, right? What my point is that Rin's been around for really I mean, obviously she was kicking about in the Kaiju arc, right? But okay, I guess we're talking about Rin now. Okay, right. Let's just talk about it. Let's talk about it. Come on, let's just do this. Let's not pretend anymore. We're talking about the Rin situation, right? Okay, right. She's been around for a long time, okay, and it's not that she hasn't had opportunities or done things, right? She has done things. She's done great things. Like she brought them out of the box, right? She brought them out of the board game. I'll just be one minute, just 1 minute support, all right? It's just that I feel the story doesn't have enough space for her sometimes, and that's not her fault as a character. It's really it's the fault of the fact that the cast is as big as it is. Kouki has been around comparatively a lot less time than Rin, and what she has done in that time period has been pretty fucking cool. And the story has had space for Kouki to be involved in it. And I've liked that about her. I like her powers. I think they're fucking cool. I think they're really interesting. I think her backstory and the fact that she was kind of aligned with the villains, not willingly so, is quite tragic. And I empathize with it. A lot of her traits remind me of Okurun, or at least her backstory. I don't know. I find it more interesting. Like, I don't know. Also, she doesn't have Mai attached to her. And I've done the Mai apology tour months ago. You know? But we'll need to see, won't we? I miss Zuma as well. For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's really down to how they use the cast going forward, right? But this is a much needed... We're here to talk about how Rin has improved, I feel. And I feel like the story now is starting to make a little bit of space for other people. And in this chapter specifically, I think Rin flourishes. It's good to see that she gets another form, right? Like, I'm really here for that. It looks great, by the way. It looks great. But we'll get to that at the end of the chapter. And we'll talk about it. So, how we usually do this, guys, there's not that many people here today. So I presume that most of you already know how it works, but for those who don't, click the link to follow what it is that I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be loosely discussing the chapter as I read through it on the other screen. Oh, fuck. I'm on top chat as well. God damn it. Why does it filter some people out, by the way? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it more as we go. But yeah, I mean, the implications of like Rin and Kouki's ability to kind of like work their powers together is interesting, right? Anyway, right? So, yeah, a bit of a glow up, yeah. So, we take off from where we were last week. Rin and Kouki are in the shopping centre, and they're doing a little shopping together, having a little girly date. It's very nice. And then they run into some strange people, right? Some strange people. I don't really... I feel like there's got to be a vampire element to it, right? Right? Like, look at this guy's mustache. It's like all curly and stuff, you know? Yeah, I don't want them to get rescued either. I do think that Kouki's power is going to be... Well, I mean... Maybe. Yeah, because... What power did she actually get given? Was it the power to control the muse? Was that the thing? Because the Lord of the Flies ability was hers, wasn't it? Like, from the get-go. He looks like he's about to tie them to train tracks. That's exactly what it is. He's the strangest of the three, for sure. You know, his reading material is 1, and the fact that he's wearing a pumpkin is 2, and then his powers are interesting as well. He's got a bit of like a... Yeah, he's got fart powers. Sure. You know? It's horrendous, really. You know? Wait, Mr. Red is the Red Baron. Maybe. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see as we go through it. I only ever read the chapter the one time through. I only read the chapter the one time through, so that it's kind of like a almost natural reaction to what I'm seeing. All right, no worries, Jersey. We'll see about that, Jersey. We'll see about that. Hi, GM. Yeah. I mean, cool. Yeah, I know the fart thing is strange. Yeah, so fart guy, nug lover, and big arms. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so they all show up. They're all rolling down the hall, and guy farts out of his pumpkin ass. I don't know what to tell you. That's just what I'm seeing. He farts out of his pumpkin ass, and then he gets a PU in response to that. Quite rightly so. Yeah, it's pretty nasty stuff. It's pretty nasty stuff. That is such a strange fucking power. Like, bro, it comes out of his ass. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That fucking quote is like, it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense because it's in Dandadan, right? But in a lot of other things, you just don't. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's clearly a shameless individual. All right, he's clearly a shameless individual. I mean, what's his monocle about? Absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd individual. You know? Yeah, just read it. Yeah. Imagine this is the week that you get in. This is the week that you jump in on it. So he can see better. Oh, yeah, of course. My mistake. So, does he ignite his farts? Is that his thing? Like, when he clicks his fingers, it ignites the farts. It's so fucking ridiculous, dude. What the hell? Anybody who's just tuning in is just like this is like, it's the worst possible fucking chapter. The worst week to jump into the stream is this week, you know? Yeah. So he farts the fart gas and then he ignites it with a click. Sure. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's crazy. I'll tune into what this safeties on rookie person is talking about. Thanks, Sev. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Sev. Ain't no one got my back. At least Sev got my back. You know? Anyway, so that means it's not vampires then. Well, surely one of them must be vampiric. Or perhaps they'll work together using something... the vampire stuff, I feel like has to play a part in this, surely. Right? Like, the vampire stuff has to play a part in this. That guy's fucking jacked, by the way. Holy shit. Look at him. Look at this guy. He's massive. You know? Yeah. Anyway, they jump out of the way of the fart flame gas and big arms. The fucking Batista over here starts talking to Nuglover. Man, Ike. This guy, and we've talked about it before. Alright. But Nuglover, right? Nuglover is the fucking worst guy, dude. Like, he's so lame. I can't. Where does he get this? Look at how he's... Right. You see this, what he thinks he's doing here. This whole, like, yes, even pigs can bite business, right? Bro, that is a level of aura farming, right? That's a level of aura he has not earned. He lost the last fight he was in. His whole thing was, I can't be defeated. It's just not possible. And he fucking got his ass kicked. He thinks that line is really cool. He probably was like in his head, in his head when he said that, he probably was like, oh, that's so cool, man. Oh my God, I should write these down. Man. It's because he thinks he's cool by smoking. He thinks he's cool by smoking. Bro, it's not. It just isn't right. This guy is just the worst guy. He's the worst guy. Like, he's walking around with his fucking eyes closed and shit like he's, like, a better than everybody else. But, dude, you fucking suck so bad. I can't get over it. The last time that we saw him, I can't get over it. I will never get over it. I cannot take him seriously as a character because of his behavior. When he saw CSG at the bakery, he fucking knelt down. Like he's peasant level. He's peasant level. You know? Do you have a light, me lord? Me lord is generous. Fucking Christ. Peasant grade. He's a peasant grade villain. You hate to see it. Hi, Money. Welcome. Fucking absolutely absurd, dude. Yeah, no, I can't take him seriously. There is nothing he can do in this fight. He could kill both of them. He won't, but I'll never be able to take him seriously because of last time. When you aren't, my God, he's just so fucking lame. All of his abilities are named after, like, smokes. Different cigarette brands and shit. Like, what the fuck, dude? That is not cool. I'm sorry, but it's not. He's not even goon level villain. No, you're right, Plague. He's not even a goon level villain. He's a fucking peasant level villain. You know? Nuglover is crazy. No, we've got the goon. The goon is the guy who I suppose is like the template for the Dandadan, right? Like, he's the goon. We spoke about him way back when. In the last arc, we called him the goon. You know, level 0 goon. Yeah, he's not a level 100 boss. Yeah, maybe. I hope he doesn't. I hope he just stays lame. Forever. I really do not respect Nuglover as a character. You know. Anyway, he's all like, oh. Is the strength of knights like us really needed to... I don't know what he means by knights. Something knightly. I don't know. There's obviously more going on in the background. I can't... I'm sorry. He's got, like, a belt around his, like... Look, he's got like, look at his design as well. Like he really wants to be edgy as well. I can't take him seriously. Even reading like this is stressing me out a little bit because like look at him with his little belt thing. Like what he would have got that. He would have got that and was like no, I need, you know what would look really cool. He probably did it up. And he was like too tight. And then CSG was like, okay, yeah, I'll undo it. Sorry. Oh my god, you're strangling me with it. I'm fine. Just be careful next time. He's like, yeah, I'll just have it really loose out here. Yeah. Because if it's too close, then I can feel my own breath coming back at me, and it's like, I don't like that. It's gonna make me really uncomfortable. It's like, no, you look great. You don't think I look stupid, do you? You don't think I look stupid, do you? Because no one's done. I've not seen anybody with these. I've not seen anybody wearing these before. It's like I'm trying to reinvent myself because last time I obviously didn't do very well. So you did great. No, you did great. You beat up Seiko. You beat her up. You did great. I've been thinking of some new cigarette brands. I've been trying to find new cigarette brands to kind of like do new moves with. It's like, maybe cool it on that. You know? You're going with the fart gas yokai user. So, you know, don't worry about it, dude. Sorry, I can't take him. Yeah, he's got a little busted lip. He's got like a plaster, one of those, like a plaster that's like a Hello Kitty one across his arm or something. You know? Anyway, what was I saying? Sorry, I really just, this guy, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is that I don't know what it is about him specifically. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, no, I kind of got lost in it there. I got a little bit lost in it there, Pickle. But I was bitching about him, specifically about him. Anyway, Rin helps Kouki off the ground, and then I love, by the way, I got lost in the sauce. That is what it is. No, this is exactly what happened last time. This is exactly what happened last time. Nuglover was in it. You know, and like half of the chapter discussion was just going in on this one guy because it's hard not to. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really difficult to not just go in on him because he fucking sucks. And I hope he's kind of written to be a little bit lame. You know, like performatively a villain. You know. Yeah, thanks, Brando. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you. Yeah, Rin is definitely on top of it. Honestly, this chapter, Rin performs. It's great. I think she's getting used to it now. To be fair, she did good in the gym back with the headless dribblers. She did a good job there. It's just obviously overshadowed by Kouki and by Ida a little bit. Yeah. But I think here she shines. I'm really pleased that she gets an upgrade. Yeah, no, I really like Kouki's whole thing. I really like her whole thing. And that is biased. That is biased. No, I have no... Come on, guys. I have no problem with Rin. I actually don't have a problem with Rin. You know, yeah, I do think that there is an element to Rin's character where she might just take on the like an appearance or something that works in tandem with other people's powers, right? I'd be curious to see like how she could use like the ogre club, for instance, right? She's obviously got that kind of trait to her. She's like the support character on the team, right? You know? Yeah, and they don't have... Yeah, no, you're quite right, Crash. This is like an instance where they don't actually have like one of the heavy-hitting members of the team, right? These two are both the newer characters. But anyway, she immediately helps up Kouki. And I love the idea that it's like Mai isn't just out there, like just doesn't just like poof pop out of existence. She is out there in the world at all times, just doing shit, you know. And until she's called upon, she's summoned, and then she just has to fucking like drop everything. Absolutely absurd. Has she had any chapters really with Turbo Granny? Like I feel like her and Turbo Granny should have something going on, right? Like I feel like they would not get along remotely. I believe they had a brief interaction, if I recall, at the in the Ombudsman, right? Yeah, I don't recall though. Yeah, not at the Ombudsman. The end of the Damara. The end of Damara. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mai's a confusing creature, you know. But I don't know. I'm warming up to Mai, right? Generally speaking, I'm warming up to her. The more that she's actually used in the plot, the more that I warm up to the notion of the character. Look, but that's just the way that these things go. My point is that the story up until recent arcs has failed to kind of like make space for these characters, and that's fine. I mean, what has been there in its stead has been good. Like the Damara arc, great. The ending of that is perfect. I don't want it different than what it was. But now, clearly, there is this concerted effort to kind of start to widen the focus a little bit to some of the other members of the team. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's important for Dandadan's longevity to do stuff like that. Yeah. But this, to me, also screams that Momo and Okurun, as a pair, kind of need to get to a point, or are getting to a point soon, where they're going to be less will they, won't they, and more kind of like certain. And I think that the end of this arc, or very soon, close to the end of the arc, I think those questions are going to be removed a little bit. And as a consequence of that, you need to move on to other things as well. And the rest of the cast are going to consequently need to be slightly more in focus. And I think that's what's being invested in with that last arc and with this one, you know, is widening the focus of the series a little bit. That's my opinion anyway. But anyway, so she appears and is immediately basically set on fire. Fuck's sake. Like... No, I think... I hear what you're saying, Tuma, but I think that they're... they need to be ready to go by the point where they're ready to transition over to the rest of the team a little bit more. It's not that Momo and Okurun won't be the focus; they always will be. But I think that there needs to be, they need to be already on the path of being a bit more developed, right? And I think this goes a long way, right? Because the relationships between some of the other characters has never been fully clear to me. It's always the relationships between Momo or Okurun and everybody else. Whereas the relationships between, for example, Gigi and Ida could do with more fleshing out. And this is why I've never really subscribed to the idea that that Gigi and Ida should be an item, because of the fact that there hasn't been enough investment into how Gigi and Ida actually interact with each other, if that makes sense. Yeah, no, that lots of other characters for sure. It doesn't just go for romantic pairings or not. So the fact that Rin and Kouki, two of the newer characters, are spending a lot of time together and having their own thing here, in a compelling way, and making it compelling, to me, is only a good thing. That's only a good thing, because it fleshes out the other characters' relationships with each other, outside of just Momo and Okurun. You know? Yeah. Or anything. I mean, like if you see, like it... Yeah. yeah, Gigi and Kinta have, like, the anime did a pretty decent job of giving them a little bit more, well, a little bit of chemistry, just because I suppose like that kind of like, it feels a bit more natural to see it when it's like on screen, I suppose. But the Kaiju arc had a bit of it, I guess. But this is good. I think this is important, you know? And I suppose I would also like to see some of this for some of the other characters as well, which is why splitting them all up in that last arc was really important, right? Because in the gym with the headless dribblers, Ida, Kouki, Rin, that's interesting. And it's three characters that aren't normally the focal point without Momo or Okurun being involved in things. So that was important, and I like that. You know, and it's partially because Momo and Okurun are incredibly compelling characters. They're active characters. They're the most experienced characters. When they're in a scene, they inherently kind of steal the scene because they're so good. You know, and it's incredibly compelling. The characters are incredibly compelling. I mean, obviously, or else we wouldn't be here. But as a consequence of that, it means that other characters lose the opportunity to shine. I mean, like, it just is how it is. In the gym, I feel like Ida was one of the standouts. Really was kind of maybe my main standout for that. Maybe not because Kouki, but like, you know, she was pretty much a very close runner-up. And as a consequence, Rin couldn't really shine. So it's nice to get that away from that a little bit. Anyway, so Mai shows up. We are talking about the chapter here, guys. We are talking about the chapter here. It's just, I feel like there's not that much to talk about, like, when you're watching, like, a fight, when you're reading, like, one of the fight chapters. So it's kind of just, like, chatting a bit. You know? Yeah, I mean, Ida and Gigi are obviously the prime examples, right? But, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see as we go. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Everybody Goes on a Date chapter, which is going to be what, like, in like 3 weeks, maybe a month. So let's all just take a second. Let's all just take a second to breathe, huh? But anyway, so Mai shows up and they start to throw around, I don't know what we call this fart pumpkin man. I don't know what we'd call him. Anyway, he gets blown back because Rin changes to her form, to her I don't know what you'd call it. Like, is it a yokai form? It must be, right? In 4 months when it hasn't happened yet. Please don't. Farto Lantern. I like that. That's good. I like Farto Lantern. I'm sorry. But we will call him Squash Ripper as well. Idol form, yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Jack the Ripper. Interesting. Anyway. She changes into her idol form, yokai form, whatever. Yeah, nobody knows who these people are, right? I don't know who they are. You don't know who they are. Jack the Ripper is funny, to be fair. I actually, maybe we should just go with Jack the Ripper. Maybe we should go with Jack the Ripper. You know? Her suit is never going to do anything. What do you mean? You mean like her suit is broken? Right, okay. Guys, we call him Jack the Ripper. Yeah. Jack the Ripper is actually really good. It works on multiple levels. Anyway, so Rin turns to Kouki and asks her whether or not she can use her powers as well. Put it up for a vote. Okay. Alright, I'll put it up for a vote. Oh yeah, we didn't ask what the chapter either. There you go, guys. Anyway, there you go, guys. So, I love the Muse, right? It's been so fucking... It's been so long since we've seen them, because obviously no one's really done anything with them. If anybody clicks Ben, I'm going to be furious. How fucking dare you click Ben? I literally put that there. I literally only put that there because I knew. I fucking knew you'd pick it for no reason. I swear to God. Predictable. This is the worst thing. This is the worst thing that's ever happened. I purely put it there just to see. I've just put it there. By the way, guys, we're T-maxing today. We're T-maxing today. How fun is that? I got this little tea set. It's got a little tea light under it to keep it warm. I knew it. I knew that if you guys had voted for Ben overall, I would have been so upset with you. Yeah, it's got a little tea light underneath it. It's very cute, isn't it? I'm drinking oolong. I'm drinking oolong. Yeah, no, I'm not surprised, yet I'm still disappointed. So, yeah. Yeah. Throw in your 5%. It won't make any difference, dude. It won't make any difference. You know? Yeah, no, I was also hoping that somebody would point out Fancy Mustache Fart Man, but whatever. Whatever, not good enough for you. That's fine. We'll go with whatever. Local mayonnaise. Anyway, the Muse. I fucking adore the Muse. That they can just fucking start building this piano no matter what. I love them so much. They're so cute. The Muse, you know what it is? The Muse absolutely fucking love Kouki. They love her. You know? I don't know. God damn. It's just great. I don't know about, like... I don't know about Kouki's fit, by the way. I don't know about her fit, like as she's walking around, her going out on the town fit. It kind of looks... She's kind of got a Walter White kind of look. She looks like she's wearing that jacket that Walter White wears. You know, the kind of like... The kind of cream one. Oh, it's the same one from the gym. That's great. I love that. I love that. You know what I mean? She's kind of wearing the Walter White fit. Look, are you telling me that she's not got the same kind of jacket going on, right? It's a bit similar. You know what I mean? It's the same vibe. Look. I don't know. Hey, you know? Yeah, it's whatever. It's like whatever. I'm just saying, like... She's wearing the Walter White jacket, man. What are you doing, dude? Yeah, she's wearing it. Nah, she's wearing that. That's it. What do you mean? It's not a casual blazer. Nah, she's wearing that. Nah, you're wrong. She's specifically wearing that jacket. You're absolutely incorrect. She's absolutely wearing that. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I love the Muse, is my point. And they just fucking build the piano there and then. Like, she's got her own portable piano. It's fucking dope. Can she just play the piano still? Right, like... Hold on. Is she able to still play the piano? Or does this happen every time she plays now? Do the bumblebees start coming out every time that she plays? I know they're not bumblebees, alright? Like whenever she plays, do the flies start a-flying? Is my point. Yeah, in tune as well. That's a good point. Yeah. You know? But, so she starts playing and all the flies come along. You know? They start a-flying. Exactly. And they all show up and start to swarm them. And then he uses his fart gas flames. like I said, the fart gas is a pretty fucking hard counter. The fart gas is a pretty hard counter to the bugs, you know. What do you think they're playing? That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe a piano version of Flight of the Valkyries, or MCR. I know the cough is not fucking off, dude. You know. But yeah. The Zone, the Awesome Zone. Yeah. But anyway, he hard counters it with his farts. And Kouki starts to... I fucking love what they do with her eyes in this, by the way. I'm sorry, but she's cool as shit. She's got a really cool vibe. It's like... She also, like, puts her hair back when she does it as well. It's kind of like, almost like taking off a mask, in a way. Because, like it's like that's who it is, who she is underneath, I presume. I don't know. I do wonder, like I feel like with Kouki, there's a very clear kind of like trajectory on where her character goes from who she is, right? Like, if you think about like Okurun, how he's kind of progressed since he started to open up, right, or to become popular, or to get friends and things like that. He's become a lot more open, more confident, and it feels like she's very much on that journey, that same journey as Okurun, but very early on in it, you know? She plays the one note from the start of Black Parade. That's crazy. No, that is it. You got it. Yeah, some ragtime. Oh, hell yeah. But, yeah, it's cool. Yeah. No, I know that she moved the hair out of her face at the start, but like it's kind of like a symbolic thing, right? As well. Anyway, the bugs get burnt up. I love that Rin's back plate is also a shield, which is really cool. Like, you see this, it's very cool. So yeah, I mean, like a more practical element of her outfit for sure. You know? Yeah, see, that's what I kind of got from it as well, Blissy, is that it feels like that's like, obviously her music to her is, and we spoke about this months and months ago, but her music is a rapturous thing. You know, it is like non-negotiable. You have to kind of like be in your element, like you guys said earlier, in order to express her powers and things like that. And like music, I think music just generally in Dandadan is so important to the series, right? I think that's why Rin and why Kouki are such a good match and a really good pair, is because of the fact that they both have music, and they both kind of like have, you know, neglected themselves the ability to access that music because of the darker places that they've been to emotionally. So that music is an expression and a catharsis in a way that I think is really, the best word I can come up with is rapturous, right? Like completely just expressive. Yeah. Yeah, and then Ida, obviously the dancing element, of course, because of Akro Silky. Yeah, I mean, it's Dandadan, right? It clearly takes a lot of... Music is very much in the center of everything, isn't it? I find that Tatsu's a very interesting individual. I feel like he has certain themes and stuff that he's absolutely attached to, right? Which is great. I think that's really cool. 2 more characters. I think I hope we've reached our max, I think, with characters. I hope that we kind of are a bit capped off for a good while now, because I think everybody needs some breathing room. A lot of Dandadan has kind of been has been like focused on that as well. Is like constantly getting. Ben got 3 votes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. We got too many people voted for Ben. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. I don't know what's wrong with you. Why you would do that. I think you just want to make things more needlessly confusing. You know? Yeah, no, we are at capacity with the gang. I think we need to stop focusing on developing and fleshing everybody out, because I think we've got a really good gang right now. I'm really happy with where we're at with most of them. You know, we're not putting Fred. Absolutely not. I'm sick of seeing Fred. You know? Absolutely tired of seeing Fred. Anyway. Rin then explains that in order to stop the enemy from coming close to them, she's using her gravity powers. Yeah, essentially. I always forget that her whole thing is like gravity, right? As the fire rises, the flames are spreading towards them because of that. That is also quite interesting. I do like the way that like a lot of the time, some of this can get a little bit too like the Typhoon Man thing got perhaps a little bit too bogged down in describing the exact way in which a fucking typhoon works in order to defeat the enemy, but this is cool. Like, it's nice to see that there is a logic to things. It keeps the world nice and consistent, which is pretty cool. Yeah, no, it's one of those things. Yeah, no, you're right, Toaster. My bad. I forgot that. I forgot that. I don't know how. You know? But anyway, it's nice that there is a logic assigned. To things. Whether or not that convenes with real logic is not necessarily important, I don't think. Right? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, so she flips gravity, and the Jack the Ripper, who we're calling Jack the Ripper, just keeps on walking, right? He seems to be just kind of in his element here. And then the art as well. In fact, you know what? I'm looking at it on Manga Plus here, but really I feel like it doesn't do it justice. These are the kind of, and this is another thing that I fucking love about just generally Kouki scenes. Whenever music is involved in Dandadan, for that matter, you need to see the double page spreads to really enjoy it, right? I'm gonna replace the pin, guys, with this one, because the Viz one is actually double page spread, right? Like rather than just scrolling. But yeah. The pygmies start to tell. Also, the fucking piano on fire, by the way. There is a gif of that exact same thing, of a guy playing a piano that's on fire. You can see the double page spreads on Manga Plus. Can you? Is there an option to change? How do you do it? You know what? You can show me later. Anyway, the pygmies are telling her that if they work together, they can amplify their strength. And I don't know how the pygmies know this, but that's, you know, it's pretty fucking badass that she's just playing a piano that's on fire. I suppose I love how the pygmies as well are basically playing like are like having to fucking put out fires and repair the piano as it's going. You can see them running around it. I love the pygmies so much. Yeah, they're helpful little guys. They're just running around the place. You know? But anyway. He starts to come closer and closer with his flame powers. And they keep playing. And the fucking... No, this is worth seeing, guys. Look at these guys. Look at these little guys. They're having a fucking concert. So fucking cool. This is really good art. This is really good. The fact that this is like a weekly thing is fucking bananas. right? Like everything in this series looks so fucking good all the time. They're so brave, and they do it because they love her. Look at them with their little. They look like the Pringles guy. See, I was thinking about them. I was hoping they don't die as well. Oh no. Oh dear. Hmm. Yeah, just somebody can get started on that shit post. I'd appreciate it. Pringles guy. Maybe that's how the Pringles are made. Thank you. I appreciate your steadfast work there, Toaster. Yeah. Ridiculous. Anyway, I assume that this eye is Kouki's eye, right? Because it's seemingly aligned with back here, with this whole thing she's got going on. I feel like maybe Kouki is more powerful than we realize, perhaps. Right? It feels like she's got some stuff locked away or something like that. You know? I feel like this is crazy levels of power for a new character. For a brand new character. Really. You know? Music like chips. Fucking ridiculous. Yeah, that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. No, Tim Kai, no, not Chard Muse, man. No, the Muse are fine. They can't die. They can't die. Yeah. But anyway, they combine their powers together and we get this. We get this in all of its fucking majesty. This is fucking cool. This is a good look, man. This is a good goddamn look. I'm very pleased. This is just like excellent. And I do imagine that there is opportunity to for her to kind of pull off these same kind of things with other people. Like, this is just good. This just looks fucking good. I'm just pleased. I'm just pleased that it is better than her previous thing. I think that it must be this is not a permanent fixture, right? This is clearly not going to be a permanent fixture. This is obviously due to her working with Rin at the moment. Yeah, it looks better. It looks a lot better. It's also cooler as well. Like, generally speaking, I think it just is a cooler look. But that's a subjective thing, right? I just don't think the idol thing was not something that really worked for me. This works a lot more for me. It's just fucking badass. I do wonder whether or not her shell, or I suppose carapace in this instance, is going to have some kind of different functionality as well. Is this like a bow, or is it like a fucking tailcoat? Is this a bow or a fucking tailcoat? Yeah, I know. Mai has a little mask. Although Mai kind of looks a bit like Morgana here. He's got like a Morgana thing going on, which I don't appreciate. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious. The vampire thing, yeah, I feel like maybe there's a vampiric element to this, right? You know? I don't know. It's very cool. The vampire thing has to become relevant, but this is fucking nice. It's a good look. These two work together really well. Yeah, if that is a tailcoat, that'd be pretty fucking cool. That would be pretty fucking cool. I'd be down for that. I fucking love the tailcoat look. You know, also, Kouki's got wings now. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, she's got little bat earrings as well. It just looks fucking badass. You know? I'm happy with this. I'm very pleased with this. I do wonder. I don't imagine it's a permanent thing, but it's cool that they work together really well. You know, I like to see it, and the fact that that's reflected in the what was that? The fact that it's reflected in the attire is good as well. It's kind of like Tatsu saying, "Fine, you don't like her outfit, then I guess you'll just have fucking loads of them. I'll just redesign her for every fucking fight," which I'd be happy with. Which I'd be very happy with. Fly-chan. Yeah, that was weird. I'm being hacked. Someone's hacking the mainframe. Yeah, they're like little fly eyes, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's quite an interesting set of powers, right? Is bugs. Bug powers is not something that you would, I suppose, typically associate with the good guys, you know? But it's cool. I suppose it's atypical, which is pretty cool. I mean, Dandadan is nothing if not atypical, right? But I suppose that there is also an element of bugs are creatures that are unseen, right? Live in kind of in plain sight. They're all around us, but you don't acknowledge them, not really, because they just are around. They are hidden. They thrive when hidden. And I suppose that there is a crossover element, feeling like a pest, I guess, as well. There's a crossover element with how Kouki's kind of lived her life, right? It's just living alone, hidden away from the world, not really cared for by people who do acknowledge her, like her parents and things like that. It's interesting. It's an interesting power, you know? Yeah. Like, you wouldn't think that, yeah, you wouldn't think that someone who brings forward swarms of fucking bugs is, well, it's pestilence and disease, isn't it? Right? Yeah, but there's still, I don't know. It's interesting. It's cool. I like to see this kind of thing. And I suppose also, like, generally, these kind of bugs are just harmless for the most part. And even if they seem repulsive on the outside or in some way bad or wrong on the outside, and in a lot of ways that's kind of how Kouki was, right? Like, we saw her as a villain or as somebody that we should hate, but in reality she was not, you know? I don't know. I find her power set just generally compelling. I don't know what it is, actually. It's actually kind of difficult to explain. It just did that fucking thing again where it bugged out. Yeah, I suppose, yeah, she's like shooting them off. Yeah, she's like firing them off, for sure. Like bullets. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bugged out. Ah. Yeah, there you go. Crash. You got it. No, I mean, like I think that. All right, maybe the setting. Hold on, I think I can change the setting. Oh yeah, I changed the setting to horizontal. Yeah, I did it. I managed to change the setting. Be proud of me. Be proud of me, guys. There it is. Boom. Definitely metal. She's definitely singing metal. You know, I'm looking forward to the next fight. Although there is a hiatus. There is a hiatus, so we're gonna need to figure out what it is that we're gonna be doing next week as well. But I'm sure we can find something. Perform a Hayashi exorcism. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Yes, just 1 week. Just 1 week. But, you know, like I said, we'll figure out something to do, generally. I mean, given the fact that everybody's at home, everybody's kind of just chilling out, doing their own thing, I don't really expect much motion on anything really at the moment. Things are just quiet. I mean, even the stream is quite quiet today, which makes sense. I'm kind of glad about, actually. It shows that people are kind of just doing their own thing at home, which is nice, you know. Also, this doesn't really strike me like there's a lot of really cool stuff in this stream, in this chapter. There's a lot of really cool stuff in this chapter, but the not a lot to talk about, I don't think, really. Apart from, like, Jack the Ripper is interesting, and also Nuglover being here. Like, get settled in, by the way. Get settled in for the Nuglover hate for the next few weeks. You know? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just... Chanin, it's just Dandadan, I guess. Fart man power. Okay, we'll do it. Yeah, new fit. But the new outfit is really the standout here. It really is the standout here. It looks great. It looks really good. I'm really pleased. Like, it is funny to see what just a change of outfit does for the character. Like, for me, like, to make the character look more interesting. Also, I suppose it also gives her a little bit more... I'm not trying to be, like, too critical, right, of what we already had. Because I understand that there was, like, I guess, like, a reason for doing it the way that it was done. I just think that giving her a little bit more dignity kind of also makes her slightly more compelling. Do you know what I mean? Like giving her a little bit of dignity in her fit kind of adds to our ability, or at least my ability, to kind of take her seriously, I think, in a combat situation. You know? Yes, roses, very... also, everybody drop some roses for Tim. Yeah, absolutely. Employee of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, well, that's it, though. Like, the fact that she's covered, like I said, it gives her a bit of... Oh, shit, okay. What? Wow, thank you, Tim. Jesus, man. Thanks, dude. Everybody, send some roses. Send some roses for my boy Tim. Absolute fucking unit over here. Employee of the week. Everybody, thank you, Tim. The donations go a long way, guys. The donations go a long way with all of this. Yeah, I mean, donations. People who are signed up on the Patreon and YouTube memberships. It literally keeps me going, keeps me working on stuff. That last video like basically killed me. Like, obviously I'm still not super well, and kind of have been pretty unwell for the past, like, near 5 weeks. I spoke to doctors and stuff like that. It is what it is. I feel like I'm almost at the point of getting better. So I'm a little bit low energy, I think, today. I apologize about that. Obviously, also I've been working on the video, and I've been doing lots of other stuff. And being able to work on that video and take my time with it is because of the fact that the people were supporting the channel on Patreon, donations, and everything, and it goes a long way. It really does go a long way in making things run here. And I appreciate everybody's decency when it comes to ensuring that I take time to do that kind of stuff. I take time to take time. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed the video. It was huge. It was a lot of work. I wanted it to be... You know what it was? There was there's a kind of... What would you say? How to describe... Right. This is the last... You know what? Let's finish with the chapter, and I'll take you through my thought process a little bit. Does that work with you guys? Anyway, but like I said, the channel donations, memberships, especially people who are subscribed on the highest tiers, on Patreon and on YouTube members. Absolutely fucking bewilders me, guys. But you know, it really does mean a lot. It means a lot. It means I can make videos that are fucking 3 hours long and have that still work. It still makes sense. So I'm just going to shout out the people who are on my highest tier, the Yokai Power users. So that's Angle, Blissycat, Danny, Evil Queen Sarah, Fifth Gram, Jersey, Julie the Blue. This is fucking huge. This list is getting huge. Julie the Blue, Old Toaster, Orbis, Plague Doctor, SOR Jellies Edition, SOR Worm. That's just his name. He's just the worm. Serpo El Clasico, SOR Support Edition, Vampy and her gaggle of Okuruns, Your Favorite Scented Candle, Zero. I know him. You know him. We all know him. The Big Pickle himself. And then obviously Tiny Tim, Kai. Thank you, guys. Genuinely, I can't express it enough. Can't express it enough. You know, it's a wonderful thing. It's an amazing thing. It's a remarkable thing for me. Giant gherkin. Yes, the big gherkin. The big gherk. But yeah, I mean, anyway, so that's the chapter. We'll just leave the chapter there for now. I'm glad that you guys were here for it. Pretty baller stuff. Right. What was I talking about before? Yeah, so obviously not well. Kind of getting there. Bit by bit getting there. My cough is less egregious than it was. But yes, the Space Globalist video. So obviously it's the end of the year. This is the last stream of the year. And I think it's a good time to kind of like maybe reflect a little bit on what it is that we've done so far, where we're at so far, because this year's been fucking crazy. And I anticipate less craziness next year because there's obviously no new season of Dandadan. And I probably will try to pivot to some other things as well in the meantime, just to kind of continue growth of the channel and keep bringing new people into the community and stuff like that. Obviously, we'll still be doing all the streams and everything on the Monday for the Dandadan manga release. But yeah, I suppose starting everything and working on all the content at the beginning of the year, my main focus was production, was to improve production, whether that's the streams, as you can see literally everywhere around me. I think we got that. That's pretty much a check. Or the audio quality. If you go back, it's crazy. If you go back and listen to the first pieces of content, or even just the Evil Eye arc retold, the audio quality versus the latest videos is night and day. And that's because I've invested in the camera arm, microphone arm, things like that. But also mainly because I've improved my recording technique. And I find that there are different types of videos that I do here. And through season 2, a lot of that tilted towards what would you say? I'm trying to think of a way, because in my mind it makes a lot of sense, right? In my mind it makes a lot of sense. So a lot of the content that I make, I think, is mostly storytelling, right? It's mostly narration, storytelling, retelling. That's what I call it. It's like the brand of that is retelling, right? So a lot of it's storytelling, and then a portion of that, I say 20%, is analysis. But I think that during season 2, not counting, it doesn't mean that it's not completely derived or not derived, deprived of analysis, but a lot of the content there for season 2 that I worked on was more about feeling than it was about analysis. Obviously, it's analyzing feelings, right? Or the way that a certain scene is put together to make us feel a certain thing. It's very refined in its scope. It's very small in its focus. But as a consequence of that, it means that the videos are shorter, and it takes a slightly different rhythm, a slightly different tone to the writing. With the Space Globalist arc retold, which is obviously the big one, the one people care about, I wanted to kind of bring in a bit more scene analysis, character analysis, but also to refine the script in a way where a lot of the stuff brought up early in the script, early in the video, is then carried throughout the video until it makes its resolution, its completion point of a theme. So like, for example, mirrors. Not necessarily complete duplicates of stuff, but that sense of almost thank you, Blissy. Yes, is important. The kaiju stairs. Yes, exactly, Nachan. That is really important to me because it brings forward that kind of it's hard to describe. That one it's hard to describe. It's these very pivotal moments where the relationship someone has with this icon, this reflection of a people, or of a person. In Momo's case, it's a reflection of Vamola. In Banga's case, it's a reflection of her duty and her culture. But there's a reflection, right? Like there is an element of something changing. But yeah, I wanted to refine the script. I wanted to really work on the script to make it work like that. So things like love and hate. One thing that is really interesting, I find, and I do think that maybe this is not something that Tatsu was necessarily conscious of when he was writing it, but it's something that developed as the story went on. As I was reading the Space Globalist arc, is obviously I frame the evil eye in the Cursed House arc as being this avatar of hate, and that being somehow binarily opposed to love. And that is what Okurun fights for versus the evil eye. It's quite a typical explanation of good and evil, but it does have that kind of almost like absolute different opposite ends of the spectrum, that kind of things. But with the love and hate in the Space Globalist arc, it's not about whether or not one is loves something or hates something, or love being the opposite of hate. If somebody hurts somebody that you love, you'll hate that person. That doesn't mean that hate is the opposite of love. In a lot of ways, it is fueled by it. And sorry, did I blow into the mic? But that's something that Gigi's character embodies in that, and Gigi has a lot of opportunity in the Space Globalist arc to shine, and that's because of the fact that he embraces not his silly guy, the guy with the big heart. Who he is this guy with a big heart who loves everybody and doesn't have a bad bone in his body, right? Embracing that part of him, a literal part of him, but also figuratively, his evil, his hate. And he taps into that through the evil eye. And in the same way that you have the spiral specifically represented for Gigi in a spin top. Now, a spin top is more than just a spiral, right? You need equal balance above and below, and to allow that kind of like centrifugal force to keep the fucking thing spinning to a point, which is like a drill head, which is where he brings in where his power is derived from. Hate, love, working together, it doesn't necessarily need to act against the other one. They can create this balance between them when it's done for the right reasons, right? And one of the things, obviously, that really, really was important was Vamola's backstory. Like, you can't You can't take a fucking like. I'm sorry, but you can't take a centrist perspective on something like that. If that makes sense. There is no centrism in that. There is. These people are the enemy. These people are there to wipe out a people, your planet in this case, Vermola's people. There is no, like, you have to hate them. You have to fight them. You have to fight back. That's the whole fucking point. Like, what else can you do? Lay down and die, which is an option that is explored. That is the alternative, is to just lay down and die, and that is literally, and obviously figuratively, but it reflected in the idea of Banga, an old woman killing Vermola, shooting Vermola in the head. Like, you it's if Vermola is a reflection, an embodiment, a symbol of the future that hasn't come to pass for a people on the brink of destruction, shooting her in the head, an old lady who's supposed to look after her, shooting her in the head when it seemed hopeless, is like, that is the ultimate metaphor for just giving up and surrendering. But you can't do that. You need to fight, because that is, if you want a future, that's what you have to do. Those people are the villains, and that thing that she loves right there on her lap, you need to hate in order to give that thing you love a future, if that makes sense. So having that reflected in Gigi, in Vermola's backstory, in spirals themselves, right? Like that kind of almost chirality to things. It's woven throughout the entire arc if you take the time to sit, look, and let it speak to you in that way, right? Does that make sense? I'm trying to kind of like, I'm trying to talk about it in a way that is that isn't just. I'm a very scatterbrained person when it comes to thought and ideas and things like that. I know what I'm talking about, and it makes sense to me, but it's hard to express that in a way that makes sense to other people, and it's more difficult because that's the way that I properly understand what it is I'm trying to talk about. Yeah, no, Orbis, very, very much Orbis, yes. I felt, besides obviously real world stuff that's happening all around us in the real world every single day, which is worth fucking identifying, I'm truly inspired by a lot of the themes that Andor talks about, right? Like genuinely, a lot of the themes that are discussed, introduced in Andor of all things, a fucking Star Wars thing of all things, I found incredibly compelling, and a lot of that makes its way into the script because it's just on the top of my dome. Yeah, exactly. And I think that is so fucking important, is that obviously being the space globalists expends constant effort, right? Like, it's not an easy thing to subjugate people, to take from people, and so there's something inside of people that calls spontaneously to be free, to not allow that. And I think that's really intriguing. And I think that Dandadan explores it in such an interesting way as well. So what I was trying to do with a lot of that video is more than just what would you say? Like just talking about the feelings of something. I wanted to introduce a little bit more thematic analysis as well. And because obviously these things are woven throughout the story. And it's only when you sit down and read the whole thing, really, really try your best to read between the lines with stuff, that you're able to articulate that in a way that you can actually break it down. I wouldn't say that there's necessarily... I wouldn't necessarily say that there is a main theme exactly. I think that the way that Dandadan is written is that it toys with a lot of different, almost shadows of themes, right? It's hard to make out an exact... Like, if you look at the evil eye right? Love and hate across Dandadan, at least since the evil eye was introduced, is very much quite center focused. But that's just because love is so center focused in Dandadan just generally, and why people do things for what they, about the people that they care about. I don't think that it's necessarily just that. I think that this is an ever continuing discussion in Dandadan is hate and love and the relationship between the two of them. It just evolved differently in the Space Globalist arc. I think it took a slightly more nuanced perspective on why it is that people hate. Like you can say, you can look at the evil eye, for instance, and not, if you don't fully resolutely find yourself in his story, then his hatred for mankind is something that you must misunderstand, right? Or that you aren't compelled by. But the Space Globalist arc, you can't tell these people. You can't tell these people not to hate. You can't tell these people that it's wrong to hate these people who have come to destroy their children, to literally grind them into paste, into weapons. You cannot tell these people not to hate. And you can't tell me or anybody else that there isn't power in that. Every single pushback, resistance is not, it's asymmetrical. It's asymmetrical, right? And the fact of the matter is, these people do hate you as well, so you need to hate them more. Your hate needs to be fueled by the fact that you are losing everything around you. Is the point, I think, of that, is that you are actually fighting for something rather than to just take something. Your hate is bound to a reason. Their hate is purely based on the fact that they want to go there and take from a specific people. Whereas Vamola's backstory, the hatred they feel is one of resistance, is justifiable hatred, And even at the end of that, after all of that pain, Vamola, as a character, is able to feel friendship, love, family for these other people. She can find it again because at her heart, she doesn't hate for just hating. She hates because of the fact that everything she loved was being taken away from her to protect something rather than to destroy something. And that's the difference, right? And that's defined somewhat by Kinta when he's fighting the head of the Kerr, Hasta. He fucking can't get it. Hasta, he cannot get it at the end. Kinta's like, I have things that I want to protect now, and that's what drives me. That's what drives me. I'm a fucking nobody, but now there are things that I can be a somebody for. And Hasta's like, yeah, I still don't fucking get it, bro. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Because he's a soulless piece of shit. Guy's a soulless piece of shit. He's got no redeeming qualities. Hasta has no redeeming qualities. Guy's fucko. He's a fucko. Yeah. Yeah, Orbis, exactly. And I find it compelling. And I think that, I think Tatsu wanted to take it very seriously, which is why Vamola's backstory got so much stuff. Vamola's backstory got a huge portion of time, because this is it. This is what creates monsters, man. This is what makes people do awful things. Subjugation is one of them, but also awful things happening, like being ignored for your entire life, like the evil eye, right? Or losing the one person that you care about, like Akra Silky. Or just fucking the world crushing your mother, and then that world spitting in your face, like Zuma. Or just the banality of just fucking awful things happening at the worst possible moment, like Rin. It's a dreadful thing. Like it's a dreadful thing. I mean, I don't know that I don't know I don't know that his hate, that the Evil Eye's hate, is something I would call the same or different to Vamola. The difference is that, and I would not say that the Evil Eye's hate is in any way unjustifiable. That's what makes it painful, is that I get it. Like, you should get it too. I get it. I do. But does that mean that everybody deserves... The difference is that when it comes to the Evil Eye, the hatred that he feels, the cruelty inflicted on him, was on a societal level based on biases. It's a much more complicated situation that has led to him being hated, or isolated and tossed aside and rejected by the world. That is a societal thing. It's a cultural thing. These are things that can change with people. And it's a dreadful thing. It's a fucking awful thing, and he deserves every right to hate people. But the what heals the Evil Eye... Hi, Jenny. What heals the Evil Eye is having people who do care about him, is having people that he can form connections with and love. That's not the same with Vamola's situation. I believe that genuinely, when it comes to Vamola's situation, if you're not with her, then you're an enemy. That's just the reality of resistance. You know? You are either the occupied or the occupier. And if you are an occupier, you are an antagonist. Because based on the fact that there is no neutrality in occupation. If you are an occupier, like the Kerr, the space globalists, that is violence. That is a violent act. Is purely the occupation alone, because you are there to perform violence, right? Just by stealing their land, by killing the people, even by just holding the planet in this case. That is a form, an act of violence, and that needs to be met. That bar is set by the occupier, by the invader, by the imperialist. Therefore, the only way to undo that, the only way to respond to that, is through violence, because it's survival, right? The Evil Eye situation is a bit more nuanced in its sadness, because the people are just afraid of the Evil Eye, presumably, or they think they have a reason for doing what they do. Not justifiable. It's never justifiable, but definitely more complicated, in that not everybody in the world should suffer as a consequence of that. Do you know what I mean? Like the Evil Eye going and killing other people in the world who may also be suffering what he's suffering is and that's also partially the situation that you have with Okarun, right? Okarun in a lot of ways has a lot in common with the Evil Eye. Okarun has a lot in common with the Evil Eye because he too has been ignored, ostracized, isolated. So him fighting Okarun is basically like saying that this hatred is such a corrosive force that you are using it to punish people who are in the same position or have been through similar things as you have been through. These people who choose love over hate when they find somebody worth who can bring them out of that is what Okarun is. So having the Evil Eye embodied by Gigi be brought out of that and into the fold, into the family, and giving him the chance to have a family and people that care about him is the cure. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with the space globalists, as far as I'm concerned, in Vamola's story, all of those fucking monsters who do what they do to her and her people, they should be just fucking, they need to die. That's the point of that story, you know? And yeah, I do think that there seemingly is with Peach, it does seem like she gets lost in hate, because she's already lost everything that she loves, right? But I mean, retribution is also a very complicated feeling as well, right? I don't know exactly what the solution to retribution is in that situation. Yeah. Yeah, it's like obviously the feelings are very similar, but the exact kind of like nuances is a very difficult thing to unwind, because they aren't the same situations. I Tarantado, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that, dude. As a Chinese person, I am absolutely not touching that conversation point. But if you see parallels to the real world in any way, shape, or form, that's art, man. That's just art. Is that it needs a parallel in the real world. The parallels exist all around you in the real world. That's history. That's now. That's the future. But hopefully it can be less the future, I think, is the point in creating these stories and creating these messages, and making it. That's science fiction in a lot of ways is perfect for that kind of messaging, right? Because it takes it outside of that. Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying, Tarantado, but again, I'm not touching that discussion point. Yeah. I take your meaning. Yeah. That's okay. But anyway, my point, I suppose, was at the beginning of all of this. My point at the beginning of all of this is that it's the space globalist arc. I think that the space globalist arc, just generally speaking, it comes across as slightly almost like fight maxing, right? It comes across as though it's just fight maxing, but it's not. That there is clearly more to it than I had given credit to. It wasn't until rereading it, it wasn't until going back through it and re-engaging with the source material that I kind of took it for what it was, right? And that is, by the way, for the record, guys, that is what I fucking love about doing this, about doing the retolds, is the opportunity to go into these stories, analyze them in a slightly deeper level, and come out with a slightly different perspective on the arc. Honestly, doing all of this has really kicked the Space Globalist arc up a bit for me. And yeah, I'm curious about what else is next, right? Like the Ombudsman arc, I'm curious about what it is that I'm going to say about that eventually. I do wonder, but I suppose there's a reason that it's so compelling. So much happens in it, but all the characters get that space and time to kind of like breathe, you know. Yes, Orbis. That's a really good way of looking at it for sure. You know, that's a really good way of looking at it for sure. Shocknado to S tier. Alright, let's go easy. Yeah, the Dan Mara retold is definitely going to be the next big one. The Space Globalist was the longest arc, I think. I don't know how the arcs recently have been chopped up, but that was the longest one. I don't know that Dan Mara is necessarily... No worry, Brendo. No worries, dude. Thanks for joining. I don't know that Dan Mara is necessarily going to be as... It's slightly weighted differently. The end of Dan Mara is really good. Like, the ending of it is fucking superb. But the midpoint of it is maybe a bit... you know? Everything after the whole... like everybody in different roles, like Mage and stuff like that, like the whole big fight scene. After that, everything really takes off, and it's very emotional, incredibly emotional. No, I hear that, Channing. I think that, yeah, I mean, I think that that Zuma's backstory specifically is incredibly, yeah, is something. That's true. The hotel stuff is good, but yeah, I mean, the board game stuff, I suppose the problem with the board game stuff is that it doesn't carry the same weight as the fights do in Space Globalist arc. Space Globalist, all of the fights kind of lead somewhere. Yeah, the chef fight is going to be the fucking hardest thing to do. I'm not against skipping parts that don't fit into my analysis. Some of you may note that the shrimp fight, the shrimp fight, is absent from the Space Globalist Retold. I tried to, right? Like I tried to make it work, but it just didn't. It just messed with the flow too much, you know. I had a whole thing planned out, and it was already like 3 hours long. 20 minutes on shrimp. I don't mean like, yeah, it's you know what I mean? Like imagine people are gonna skip it, or they're just gonna stop watching, you know. When the reality is, my favorite parts of that video, there are 3 parts in that video, apart from all the shit posts, by the way. I tried to amp up the shit posts because it's such a fucking long video. I felt like it needed a little bit of humor, or at least what I would what I would pass as humor, even though it's fucking so stupid. Just a random Back to the Future thing is crazy. Yeah. The chapter is fine, Orbis. The chapter is fine. It's just it's so isolated when I'm trying to kind of like tell the story, right? But yeah, all the shit posts and stuff, like you know, I feel like they were necessary, you know. Yeah. Exactly. That's my point. That's my point, Blissy. Is that's the one that I skipped because it just didn't work. It just didn't feel like it worked for what I was trying to do, especially because the whole story, and especially because I'm able to kind of like tell it over 3 hours rather than you scrolling through or reading through the manga, is that I can create the story kind of swelling to a point, right? Like all of it moving towards this specific point. That really fucked up the flow. And that's why it's really light and humorous, and there are lots of like little shit posts and stuff at the beginning, and then it kind of pushes towards more serious territory. And it's like I kind of wanted to get past some of the fights because they're exhausting to do, you know. But I'm glad about how it all turned out. My three favorite parts, probably. My number one is probably Momo's first encounter, like at night with Riko Kashima, where Okurun is outside of her window. I think that was my favorite thing to do, just because you could kind of get a little bit like creative with it, I suppose. You get a little bit, what would you say? I don't know. There's something about it. There's something about it that's very whimsical in a way, right? Like it feels like it's building up to he's actually there, and then as she goes to the door, it's like, oh fuck, go outside. And I wanted it to feel like it was actually happening for her, because that's what's going through her head, right? And that's the perspective that I'm trying to tell it from. You know, support, that is actually a really interesting section, because that is something I lacked confidence in because of the fact that I was worried that some people would not respond well to it, because initially I was going to kind of do this cut-in piece where I was kind of like, look guys, this is done for X reason, Y reason. It doesn't necessarily entrench on Okurun's territory, blah 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 blah, and all of this shit. But then I was kind of like, the moment itself doesn't do that. That chapter itself, up until Okurun sees them, that chapter does not. Tatsu really is not a fucking coward, right? He's not a chicken shit when it comes to his story. His characters are very consistent, and I think in that moment he wanted that moment to be Gigi's moment, not Momo and Okurun's moment. It was Gigi's moment. It was this kind of peeling back the layers of Gigi and understanding why he is who he is, right? He has things he cares about. He's just not a very confident person when it comes to being anything serious, which creates that veneer of, for Gigi, it creates that veneer of, this is why he is as fucking silly as he is. That's why he goes to do a fucking Kamehameha, because the guy is deadly unserious. He's a deadly unserious guy because he lacks that confidence to be anything but unserious. So when he goes to do his what becomes the evil gun, he cowards out initially of really finding words that matter to him. And that's why seeing that these words need to be more than just the flight of fancy. They need to come from, for Seiko, it comes from Momo. That's the person she wants to protect. With every swing of that bat, those words are not her words. They are written there, created by Momo. The things she cares about, the things that she protects, the person she fights for. Momo, her words of power, the Moe Moe Tri-Beam, come from that moment of friendship and something more from Miko and Muko, but also, more importantly, Okurun. That's what she does when she does her Tri-Beam. For Gigi, it needed to be more than this silly fucking thing. Like, the power needs to come from something more. And understanding that he's a silly guy and that he can't talk to Momo in any real way without being silly shows that this is his defense mechanism, as it is for everybody else. So taking that moment that is Gigi's moment, where he's the first time that Gigi is able to strip away those layers and just tell Momo that he can't talk to her unless he's being unserious. To take that away from him and to hand it off to Okurun is doing a disservice to the character. And that thing I was talking about earlier, where I want there to be more space for the other characters as well, that would have been hypocrisy. That would have been a hypocrisy, in my opinion, because Gigi is his own guy as well, you know? Yeah, exactly. No, I completely support. I totally understand what you mean. Yeah. All right, let me just give it a little reedy poo what you're saying, Channing. Yeah. No, I hear what you mean, Channing, but I think again, you did miss the pomade support. Again, I do know what you mean, Channing, but I think if you watch the video that I made, I know it's a very long video, but Reiko Kashima is crucial to the Space Globalist arc because of that idea of symmetry, right? That reflection, that chirality, that it's not an exact duplicate, right? It's the opposite but also the same. Momo and Reiko Kashima carry that same thing. What's the worm talking about? Silence worm. That is a really important theme, not just for Momo's development across that arc, and you do see a lot of that with for example, her issues with Vimola being a reflection of everything that she's afraid of, right? Which is somebody coming along and taking Okurun, but also, you know, they have to come together as well and understand each other. And there's a lot of, like, over time, especially, Vimola starts to take on certain traits for Momo's. They aren't that different, right? Despite the fact that they are opposed. But then you've also got love and hate as a theme. You've got what's happened to the Sumerians versus what could happen to the humans, right? That there is this reflection of everything across the whole arc that Reiko Kashima embodies perfectly as a character, right? And by the end, and yes, that's another really good one, Orbis, is the victimization of innocence in war, right? Like this is just what it is. And then you get this kind of, like, by the end of it, Momo is no longer just being reflected by Reiko Kashima, but also Momo is able to reflect something back at her as well, right? Which is her own humanity. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Plague. You know, there's a lot of this. There's a lot of... It's very much tied up in concepts of imperialism, conquest, victims. That, you know, it's quite a... It's more... I think it's more... I think the nuance of the arc is lost in the grandiosity of the... in the of the kind of scale of everything, if that makes sense. It sort of... It gets lost in the sauce. It gets lost in the sauce. But it is there. It is there. And my mission, after these things started, my mission was to include more analysis. Was to include more analysis in this piece of work, because of the fact that you are telling the whole entirety of an arc. In order for it to be a well-written piece, I think it needed to really it really needed to bring it on home to exactly what matters, right? You know? Yeah, no, yeah. No, if you haven't seen the video, Channin, my general perspective is the most clear in there. That is the best avenue to understand my thoughts. I'm less scattered in that because I've had the opportunity to write it down. But yeah, it's the scale for sure. Yeah. Yes, no, that's it, Blissy. That is exactly it. That is the fucking nail on the head. All I want to express, right? That's all right. I mean, you don't have to watch it, of course, Shannon. Like you got. There's no obligation here. I'm not offended. But if you want to know more about my feelings on it, that's the best way to do it. By all means, watch it or don't. It's totally down to you. Don't worry about it. But you know, I appreciate you being here, even if you're only here for the live stream. So thank you for being here. Yeah. Aggressive marketing. No, but what Blissy just said, right? That is the core of everything that I want to do here. Is really what I add, or what I try to add to the experience of reading this content. I don't add much, right? What is there, and I know that sounds like I'm just trying to be like sickeningly modest. I'm not trying to be. I'm telling you that what is there is something that you read and you feel it. You don't even know why you feel it. You just do. And those are feelings that work best because of the fact that you just are able to experience it and enjoy it. What I try to do, my whole thing, is because of the type of personality that I am, is I want to know why this piece of media has made me feel the way I feel, right? Like that's my whole thing. It's always been my whole thing. It's part of the reason that I studied communications, like media and communications. It's an obsession for me. I love to know why I feel a certain way when something that is fucking imaginary, something that was invented and written down and then turned into a thing, is put in front of my face, and then I go, oh shit, that makes me feel a thing. That's my whole thing. It's my whole bag, dude. So the channel is not about explaining these things to you, because you know them. You just don't realize that you know them, or what it is that you don't realize exactly what it is that makes you feel a certain way about it. I take the time to go and look at that and to try to delineate exactly what it might be, and then represent it to you from my perspective, which isn't necessarily always correct. And yeah, Momokurun was the first thing, right? But the more that you look, the more that you find, you know? I'm currently playing the Outer Wilds. I don't know how far. I did one session. I'm partway through the Outer Wilds at the moment. I stream it on Twitch. You did not just both say the same fucking thing. You're the same person. You just double. Hi, Sarah. You did miss Gothrin. Yeah, I'm probably going to play that. I'm going to try and get through the rest of it this week on Twitch. Probably, maybe tomorrow. I might take some time to do it tomorrow. I'm trying to get some gaming in this week because I've been leaving things aside for a while. You know, psychologist. Yeah, that is it. That is exactly what it is, Jenny. Yeah. Your psychology is saying that you should all drop a fat donation right now. I'm joking. Yeah, 100th video. Yeah, thanks, Sarah. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. It's yeah, we've been mainly talking about the Space Globalist arc, funnily enough. But I mean, like, yeah, I'm just fucking glad. Like, I'm not glad that it's over. I'm not glad that making that video is over, because it's like you get attached to working on something. You know, when you're working on something that is like a big oh, hell yeah, Toaster. Hell yeah. He's on his way for Employee of the Week. Oh, Jenny. Absolutely fucking absurd people. You are deadly unserious people. I fucking adore you. That is crazy, guys. That is crazy. Here, I'm gonna send you some hearts. There you go. Yeah. For a shining moment in time, Toaster, you were the favorite child in the chat. But I'm afraid now you've been relegated to numero dos. I'm sorry. The deeply unserious people. Fucking hell. Dance. Absolutely fucking atrocious. I shan't be dancing for $2. Mm-hmm. More tax on the donut. Yeah, crazy. But the yeah, no, so obviously, like, when you finish a project, when you finish a big project like that video, it's like you miss it. Like, it's a lot of work, and it's constantly just exhausting to think about and to work on. But you really miss working on it, because I'm kind of like, now I'm just like, oh, now I've got to think of something fucking else to do. Yeah, I'm glad that people like it. I'm glad that the people who have seen it like it. Which, you know, the retolds are always for core audiences, right? Like for you guys. So it's good to see that everybody responded well to it, because I'm very proud of it. Honestly, I am. It was even more difficult because I was so fucking sick for half of it, right? You can hear it in the recording. I can, anyway. You guys, well, I suppose you do. I was gonna say you guys don't really know my voice as well as me, but maybe you do. Maybe you fucking do. I don't know. I mean, how many hundreds of hours? How many... Well, maybe not hundreds. No, maybe not hundreds. How many tens of hours have you guys heard me speak? Right? At least 50 each. For those of you who have been here for a while, maybe approaching 100 hours. Right? That's a lot. That's a lot of listening to me talk about Dandadan. If you think about it. Right? Yeah, no, yeah. It's probably accurate. No, that's a good point. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, good. I'm glad that the brainworm is working, Janny. You know? Now, Orbis, there was definitely an element of it's a very 4 or 5. Those are rookie numbers. Yeah, no, I actually don't sound like this at all. This is just AI. This is all AI. Yeah, I said the thing. Chop. Chip chap. Nah, that's okay, Chan. I'm only joking, dude. I'm only joking. I'm glad to have you. I love to see new people here in the chat, for sure. It's exciting. But Orbis, there is an element of, obviously, it's a funny thing because you kind of got to... you've really got to put your... If you want to... It's funny because when people can't see you, and they can only hear you, you've got to really push your voice to kind of like express exactly what it is that you're trying to get across, right? I wanted people to feel like they're experiencing it from how I feel about it, which is another really important injection into the retolds, right? Is that it's me, it's mine. Oh yeah, of course, yes. Also, yeah, of course, Channing. Like, it's a joke. We're only kidding, man. But yes, Patreon link in the description. Join my Patreon as a free member to get access to the Discord, guys. It's the best place on the internet for Dandadan, and the best way to stay up to date with everything that we're doing here on the channel, Twitch, whatever. You know, we're always doing stuff over there. It's great. Also, there are excellent people there. But but anyway, you've really got to kind of like put yourself into a mindset for it, right? And it can become a very emotional thing, especially if you do genuinely connect with the content. I think that the day that you start to kind of like, if it's your own writing anyway, if you can't put yourself into the headspace, and it sounds almost like it sounds almost performative in a way, right? But it's not. You need to really put yourself into the headspace of what it is that you're talking about, or it's really hard to not feel silly when you're talking about it, right? If you're talking about Vamola's backstory and the part where they're in the cave, and you're just kind of doing the normal YouTube, and then they went and did this, like chills, it just doesn't work, you know. It just doesn't carry for. It doesn't. You aren't adding anything. If anything, you're taking away from the experience, in my opinion, because the only reason to watch somebody else read the manga to you, essentially, or you know, reflect it to you, is to kind of get their perspective in it, rather than just kind of like just hearing them talk about it in a matter-of-fact way. I don't see what that brings to the table. That's what makes this slightly different from at least in my perspective, from just recapping anime, because I'm not just telling you about. It's not just a summary of what happened. It's like me. It's like me in it. Like I need it to be my expression. Again, it sounds a little performative, I think. But I mean, whatever, fuck it. If it works, it works, you know. But that's probably why you were getting that through, Orbis. In fact, I'm glad to hear that you got that through from it, because it did. I don't know. It's weird. There's lots of stuff. I don't know. I try not to. I know it's ridiculous, because I try not to get too into that kind of stuff, because it then just sounds like. It sounds like you're interviewing yourself on something. It's like I don't, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, Orbis, yeah, I'll do that. Get the AI to do it, to spit it out. Yeah. I'm really happy to hear that, Tiberius. That makes me really happy. Honestly, I'm really happy to hear that, because that's the whole point, you know. That's my whole thing. It's been really nice to hear people have enjoyed it. Honestly, it's been really nice to hear people have connected with it, because that's what I want at the end of the day, is connection, you know. Concerning attuned to your voice. Excellent news. Excellent news. That means when you're fully online, that means That means you're fully online. It's a funny thing. It's a funny thing because I'm like, I yap, man. Like, I know that it's like, obviously you guys know that, but like, I just yap. I always have yapped. So the fact that there are people who want to hear me yap makes me very happy. Even though it's just about Dandadan, you know, which is great. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, Toaster. Yeah, like generally speaking, like I when it comes to how I enjoy, really want to enjoy something or engage with media, I try to be very involved in it. I really enjoy getting immersed in it and letting myself feel through it. And Dandadan has really been something else for that, I think. Yeah, no, I hear what you mean. I hear what you mean, Channing. It's a difficult thing, right? Because, like, exactly. Now, this is it, Toaster. Yeah. It's a good question. It's a good question. No, that's a totally good question because I was in that conundrum that you're describing right now is something I was fervently in a year ago. Obviously, I started this last December, the Retold series, but that's because I was you know what it was. I was trying to figure out exactly what to do in Dandadan, and there were a lot of things. Like I just done the the Momokurun video, and I had done the one on the yokai, and I was kind of like, when I was reading a lot of the stuff, the research for that, when I was writing about it, every single chapter I was like, that's really interesting because I feel like this connects to that, connects to this inside of this arc. And I went and I listened to some other videos that kind of cover the same stuff, but they were just what you're saying, right? They were just recitations of what exactly happens in the arc. And I felt like there was a niche that was not being served, which was an analytical perspective on the moment to moment or each arc that kind of takes you through it and provides you with a voice to experience it with. Some things that you may not have seen. It's like, it's really easy for me to write out a huge paragraph for you saying that love and hate, for instance, in the Space Globalist arc, aren't opposites, but rather they fuel each other like a spiral, and these two things, these two seemingly opposed but actually in tandem mechanisms of passion, work together, fuel each other, and like can create almost like a spiral together, which is power, right? Which is where power comes from. Is the two things working together in combination. I could write that, and you may not get or may not see my perspective on it because of the fact that I am just telling you it. I need to take you through the way that I came to that conclusion, the way that I enjoyed the story to get to that conclusion, and the feelings that that formed this thought in my head or compelled me to believe that is what it is, right? And that's kind of what I was doing. I was like, I don't really know what you would call that, because how do you differentiate a video like the one that you can say explained, but they're all called explained. The Retold thing was a branding thing, right? It was a branding thing for me. It was, I wanted it to be its own thing. I wanted it to be something that can be transitioned to other things, something that I can take with me, and something that people can connect with, that they can see that and go, oh shit, I know what this format is. It's also, it's also like, you know, it's really easy to it's not easy to make those videos. Those videos that other people make that are just recitations, hard as shit to make, right? That is hard as shit to make, especially the really high quality ones. Not my cup of tea, but those people fucking make videos and they're not easy to do. However, it is easy to swap that out with an AI voice, right? The difference is that the retolds the notion of the retolds is that it's not about just what's being said, just the script. It's about the way that the script is delivered to you. It has to be said with feeling. It has to convince you, not just on the basis of its argument, but on the way it can be delivered to you, to follow through with its message, right? Talking about the evil eye or Akra Silky or Vermola's backstory, if you don't add a sufficient amount of emotion to that, who gives a shit about the hate? Who gives a shit about the hate of Banger if you can't fucking make people feel that hate? Because hate is not something that's yeah, it's a very sophisticated notion, hate. You gotta fucking feel it. And you can't understand Banger's hate without feeling her fury, right? Like, you need to hear someone angry, or you need to hear someone who is dragging that out of you, because it's dragging, because the art is dragging it out of them, if that makes sense. And that's what I wanted to do, and that's the difference, right? Yeah, no, I think that those kind of videos, generally speaking, it's hard to I think that I don't think that you're wrong, Janin. I think that you are right. I think that can come across that way to other people, but for me, the reinforcement of the brand, a lot of the retold stuff is made for existing audiences, core audience members, and then I have other videos that are slightly more generic kind of sounding titles that are more expansionist for new audiences. But for me, I take the slow route. I take the slow route with my audience, and it slows down the rate in which it grows, but it compounds upon the caliber of people it attracts, in my opinion. Not to glaze everybody too much, because they won't fucking they won't shut up about it. But the fact that I'm able to bring in some of the most sophisticated, interesting, interested, and a lot of the really intelligent people to this audience is a fucking pleasure. Is a fucking pleasure. I don't want to placate an audience that can't think. I don't want to. I've heard things from people that I couldn't have thought up, that I wouldn't have thought up, right? And that informs me. It makes me better, because that's the audience I want to attract, right? Bringing in, look, they're insufferable as well, by the way, absolutely insufferable. But bringing in these people and then compounding with content that I know they want forms the basis of the audience that I want it to be, a community that I want to be part of, rather than just one to placate with constantly feeding new topics. So this kind of stuff is the bread and butter, not for growing my audience, and you can see that in the numbers, but for keeping people fucking engaged with the channel and happy with the content and stimulated by the messaging. And then there's other content that grows that audience and brings in new people, and they attach themselves to that. And, you know, that's how the audience brings in people. Like, all the names, look at the fucking chat that is going past you right here. All of these people, the majority of these people, their names I know. These are people that I'm aware of, right? A lot of the people who are concurrent viewers, not right now, but usually, and in busier weeks, a lot of those are the same people, because of the fact that the core audience care about the content, care about the messaging. They want to hear from me. They know that I want to hear from them. It works. And it works. You know? Including Toaster. including Toaster. Yeah. But my point is that the retolds, I do think you're right on one hand. Which is that I do think that new audiences may struggle differentiating that from other types of things that aren't exactly that. Because I do think you're right, Channing. People do struggle with that. And you're a great testament to that. As you mentioned earlier, it doesn't differentiate itself on the outside. But once you're on the inside, people know the brand. They care about the exact thing. I think that is a powerful piece of branding as well. So, yeah, I mean, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Channing, it's definitely not the best way to grow a channel, but it's an excellent way to compound quality into a community. Thank you, Orbis. Thank you, Orbis. Thank you, Orbis. I hope that makes sense to everybody. I hope everybody feels sufficiently complimented. I hope everybody feels sufficiently complimented by that. Because, you know, it's been a very good year for me. I've enjoyed this year a lot, you know? So I'm pleased. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm going to bully you guys, but like, it is important to also remind you that that's the LOL moments. You know? Yeah. Yes, that's true as well, Channing. That's true. No, you're right. It's I'm going to also start looking at creating content for other niches as well. Just because like I want to keep a flow of things for Dandadan coming until 2027, right? Like we're talking like 2 years until then, and I've got what, like 2 or 3 arcs left, right? There's a lot more to say besides just that, but it means that there's no denying the fact that there needs to be more content created, because growing the audience, because obviously all channels are in some way, shape or form a hemorrhaging thing. It's just how it is, right? Like audiences diminish over time. It's stagnation. It's just how it is. That's how all things online work, is how all things offline work, actually, for that matter. So you got to keep growing the audience to keep it even just base level, right? But like I said, having a really good core audience means that I get at least some certainty in the way that the channel performs, based on things like subscriptions, on things like Patreon, that kind of stuff. Yeah. What is it? Pay? Is that his whole channel? Is just PEY? Pay Talks Anime. Oh yeah, I see. Goddamn, 219k subs. Holy shit. He's been doing this for a while. 2 years. Holy fuck, that's crazy. I'll have a look at some of that stuff, actually. Yeah, I'll have a look at that stuff. Thanks for notifying me of it. Oh, support, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. That's excellent. Very exciting. I know, you got quite a few people there. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to Damn, he did 7 hours of free run analysis. That's fucking wild. What the hell? What the helly? What the helly? That's crazy. What the fuck? This shot is weird. That's crazy. 2.4 million views. What the fuck? That's nutty, bro. Holy shit. Oh, it's a compilation vid. Alright. Holy shit, dude. That's fucking crazy. I love his simple thumbnails, by the way. Holy shit. There's a lot of that kind of like versus thing. I don't really fuck with that myself. I know that it does well algorithmically. Wow. I suppose like all of these videos, I'll just share it. All of these videos have a really kind of, you know, actually have a really good clear thesis statement. I think it's that curiosity. It's that curiosity bridge, isn't it? Like it really does get you interested in what it is that they're talking about. But holy shit, I might watch some of this. Thanks for the heads up, Channing. Appreciate that. You know, seems like he's got like 10-minute videos per go. That's pretty sick. Damn. Oh, he talks about Dandadan as well. Nice. Scooby-Doo shit. Yeah. No, he's right. He's right. We're a Scooby-Doo channel. That's my ultimate form, my end goal. Oh, interesting. I'll look into this. 219,000 subscribers is fucking wild in 2 years, by the way. That's fucking bananas, dude. Holy shit. But mind you, Freyrin is really popular, to be fair. Right? Like, Freyrin is really popular. Sorry, I'm getting lost in it now. I'm getting lost in it. I'll go back to that on my own. Yes, season 2 comes out in January. You know, yeah, no, I mean, Freyrin is one of those things that I want to talk about. I do. It's just finding the right words for it. I think the thing with Freyrin, I've spoke about this a bit, is that Freyrin eludes me, right? Freyrin eludes me in a way. Not because I don't get it, but because, like I said earlier, right? It's about trying to understand and explain back why you feel a certain way. I don't know what it is about it that makes me feel how I feel. It has a knack for nostalgia, for feeling nostalgic about something that never happened to you, which is a very unusual feeling. Nostalgia is one of those feelings just generally that I find difficult to kind of pass through, you know. It's very Stuart Little. Yeah, maybe in April. Yeah, you know what, Channing, I kind of get that. It's like, it sounds weird to say, but it's like a smell. You know, like I know that, again, I know that sounds weird, but it feels like that feeling is like this kind of like, it's the closest thing that I can put to it, you know. It's like I feel like nostalgia has a smell to it. That was a weird thing to say. Fuck off. That's a weird thing to say and want. I feel like nostalgia has a very specific scent. Yeah, that's it. It's a confusing thing. Vibes, I guess. Yes. Dandadan is a bit more. Dandadan is a bit more kind of like, the feelings are clear because the two characters that feel it are at the beginning of something, and you're able to kind of trace what it is that they're feeling and what that makes you feel as they go. Freyren is the complete inversion of that, right? Freyren, they are at the end of something, and there is something incredibly compelling about being at the end of something and the fucking beginning of something, right? Yeah, it's kind of like Cowboy Bebop in a way, because you can't go back, you know? And everybody's got things they want to go back about. Everybody's got things that they want to undo, or something they would have done differently had they had the opportunity to do it again. But you can't. And there's a finality and a certainty to that is almost rejection worthy in a way. And so to see someone like Freyren in a position where she is learning about these things that have passed, that she can't influence anymore, that she lets slip away, right? She let these opportunities for herself slip away, and now here she is at the beginning of another journey which seemingly mirrors her own, especially in like her protege Fern, and how she's developing feelings. Seeing that versus and learning about what it is that she then lost because she didn't act on these things when it happened to her, or when the opportunity arose for her, because she was so caught up in other things. It's like it's hard to know exactly what it is that means, but we're all caught up in things that actually don't fucking matter, when there are things around you that do, that are and have and will slip away if you just leave them. And despite the fact that that's already happened to probably all of us, you still don't fully understand what that means for going forward, right? Like, how do you not make those mistakes next time? How do you know when something is or isn't as important as what has already gone away comes along again? You know? And ultimately, it's a very confusing thing, I think. In a way that's hard to articulate, if that makes sense. It's hard to do justice to it. Yeah. It's more melancholic. Yeah, quite right. Yeah, I think that it's something. Well, it eludes. I suppose I'd need to take some time. I don't know. It's hard as well to move into something new, right? Because I've gone to the point with Dandadan where I feel like it's deep in here, and while I'm still learning about it all the time, I feel like I can pretty much just know what it is that I feel about it, even if I haven't fully explored some of those feelings. Whereas Freyren is slightly more complicated because of these notions. I think there are two things. There are two things about Freyren that compel me. One is that nostalgic element, which is hard to grasp and hard to pin down. That's one. The second thing that I find very interesting is that Fern, you see the whole, or at least so far in season 1, you see a lot of Fern's life. You see her from a child, kind of growing up, and at a point now where she kind of has a lot of those same feelings, or rather the feelings that Himmel had for Freyren have kind of come to fruition in her life. And you see her, because of the fact that her life is as limited as it is because she's a human, you see her taking these opportunities. Her personality has been so heavily influenced and modified by the fact that her mentor, Freyren, has essentially also acted as a kind of parental figure. She's modeled a lot of her own personality off of her, and also her lack of parents, right? So she's quite closed off emotionally too. But you start to see her overtake her emotionally in such a short period of time in Freyren's life. She's already emotionally started to outclass Freyren, just based on the fact that there is that time limit. Freyren can put stuff off forever, Freyrin can put stuff off forever. Or at least she thinks that she can, because she has that perspective, that ability, that conceptually she's able to have this huge picture of existence. But because of that, I think the problem is that you don't see, if you look at the world as a big picture, you don't see that like a fucking monitor screen. It's just tiny pixels that make that up. So it's these little moments in life that make the minutes and the seconds into minutes, and the minutes into hours, into weeks, years, into a life. And I think that bird's eye view, that huge perspective, lacks the simplicity of it's too grandiose for love. It's too big. It's too incomparable for something that, funnily enough, should be eternal. You know? I don't know. It's like I said, it's like hard to know exactly what to think about something until you're talking about it, in a way, you know. I know fucking nothing about Chainsaw Man. I mean to watch it. I mean to read it. I just, too many things. There's too many things. There's too many things. Oh. Well, I'll I don't know if I'd read Freerun. I mean, I'm gonna give Chainsaw Man a watch at some point, just because I do like quite a wide variety of things. Like Dandadan is really the exception, right? Like Dandadan's not my normal wheelhouse, right? That's what makes Dandadan as special as it is. But yeah, I mean, I think my first, if I don't know, I'm gonna spend some time this week exploring these things a little. You know, I don't know about reading Freyrun. My thing with Freyrun is that I know that it's very inconsistent with when things are being released, manga-wise, because I believe the author is unwell. I don't know if that's something I would really jive with. That might be something I just leave to the anime, to just be anime only, like intentionally, and that's the norm for me, guys. Dandadan is the only thing I bothered to be obsessed with when it comes to manga, you know. And even then, I haven't actually gone and fucking read any of these editions that I have on there, because it's too much effort to move everything, you know. And Spy Family as well. There's a lot of things. I've also heard incredible things about Gachi Yakuta. You know, I think Gachi Yakuta also looks excellent. There's so many fucking things. You see what I mean? This is why I stay in my Dandadan space. But now that I've done this video, the Space Globalist arc, now's a good time, I think, to maybe bleed into something else a little. But I'll see. You know, I do like. There are some things that I do quite like. Like, obviously, Freyrun has a big fucking. It's a very competitive space. It's a very competitive space. I want to fucking. Pluribus is one of those things that is for me. That's one of those things that's for me. No, Pluribus is one of those things that's for me. But I will discuss it via Discord. But you know what I mean? I'm excited for that. And I think that there are people who are going to be very fucking smart about that shit. In that space, there are too many intelligent people to even try to compete with. Say Andor as well. I don't think that I have the fucking the cultural. Well, I mean, I suppose Star Wars discussion is a fucking nightmare. I wouldn't want to get involved in Star Wars anything on here. How would you say it? It's not Gachi Yakuta. please phonetically explain how it is said. But yeah, I mean, the benefit of something like Gachikuta is the fact that it doesn't have as much of a following already, so it's easier to kind of be involved in that audience, right? Yeah, no, I agree with you, Channing. Yeah, no, yeah, I think I agree. Gotcha. Gachikura. Is it Gachikura? Gachiakuta. No. Gachi. Kuta. Right? Gachiakuta. Gachikura. Gachikura. Gachiakuta. Right. The accent. Just drop it. Yeah. I'm looking at the way that it's spelled. How does this turn into Gachikura? Gachi. What would it be? Right. Yeah. It is Gachiakuta, but like the difference is because of the way that Japanese people would pronounce it. It's Gachiakta. So Gachiakta. Oh. Yeah. It's the U. It's the U that's fucking me here. But I mean, we're kind of splitting hairs. I feel like I am English. You know, like. So it's Kata. Yeah. I mean, again, I think the difference is ku versus k. K, right? Gachiakuta. But that does not roll off the tongue for me in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. Like. But anyway, I suppose it's you. I think that we might be splitting hairs here, but from what I see, Gachiakuta is most likely fine, right? Naruto. Do you like Naruto, bro? I freaking love Naruto. It's freaking awesome, dude. You know Sasuke? I think you'll find that it's pronounced Naruto. Yeah, like what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? You got your Seiko. I stopped saying Psycho and I started saying Seiko. Are you happy? Are you happy now? God damn it. I changed that. I say Reiko instead of Raiko Kashima now. You people not happy with that? Naruto. Every time I pronounce anything Japanese, I'll just stop. I'll get rid of my accent and I'll just change it. All right? I'll just be like, oh, golly gosh, have you heard of this? Have you ever heard of these Japanese cartoons? Yes. Well, it's a funny story because I met a chap who said he had watched Naruto. Like, what do you? Gachukuta. Like, what do you want me to do? Sorry. I feel like I was saying it right. I feel like I was just saying it right. I feel like I was just saying it right. It's fine. It's fine. These Chinese cartoons, that's crazy. Aw, Eric. Eric. Aw, little guy. Thanks, brother. I'm glad that you've been here, dude. It's been an absolute fucking pleasure. Let's do it all again next year, guys. Let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling. Should have chosen another spawn point. That's crazy. Crazy. Then I would get it. But alas, I'm destined to say Psycho and Naruto. Bro, I freaking love Naruto, man. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, bro. Yeah. Nah, I'm fine. I'm not even that tired. I'm not even that tired. It's not even midnight yet. It's called entertainment. Okay? That's what people are here for. Yeah, well, you say that, but the 4-week hiatus, was crucial to the formation of this community. Crucial to this community's formation. So, actually, the 4-week hiatus was actually quite good. You know? That was a crash out back there. I apologize. That was a crash out. I crashed out back there. I crashed out back there about the gachiukuta, right? So I'll clip it. Oh my god, that's crazy, dude. That's I saw red there. But anyway, yeah, that's on the table. As are a bunch of other things, that are worth considering. Doing stuff about. Freyrin is at the top. Yeah, no, I'll crash out, of course. But like when you're in it, you don't think straight. I'm not thinking straight when I'm in it, you know what I mean? But retrospectively looking at it, it's actually very good for this community. Because that was the spawn point, right? Remember when we went through all... Guys, do you remember when we went through the entirety of the Kazuka Knives arc? Do you remember that? I remember that. That was a crazy time. And that only could have been facilitated by the hiatus. If anything, we barely had enough time. You know? And we haven't done an Omaki pot next week. No, that's it. Next week, we can do the Omaki that we didn't do last time. Like almost a year ago. When was that the thing? When did I do that? Does anybody remember? Let's see. 10 months ago. 10 months ago. Oh yeah. I used to call these Dandadan... Do I still do that? No. I used to call them Dandadan Retold Live. That was absolutely just... Well, actually, no, that was only for going back through the previously existing arc. So that is actually an applicable term. Yeah. No, that is an acceptable term. I'd be diluting the brand if I did it on everything. Yeah, let's do an Omaki week. I'll need to I covered about yeah. No, that's exactly it, Orbis. Yeah, it was fucking diabolical. You know. So next week we'll just do the rest of the Omaki. You know, am I okay to say Omaki? Oh, next week we'll do the rest. We'll do the rest of the Omaki. How about that? Oh, what do you think? Oh, that sounds like jolly good fun, doesn't it? Yeah. Omaki. Yeah. Some jolly good fun. Oh, blimey. Yeah, no, I didn't ask. Yeah. Well, we'll do that. Ohio, Marky. Whatever. In full stereotypical British accent and words. Well, are you talking about received pronunciation? In RP? Received pronunciation. I don't know if I've learned received pronunciation. You know? Cambridge exams trauma. Birmingham. My ancestors are screaming at me from beyond the grave. Stop this madness. They call it red sauce, you know. They call tomato sauce red sauce over there. I mean it. I've been there. You know? Bruh. Are you the guy? Are you the Ohio man? Ain't no way. Ain't no way we got a guy from Ohio here. That's crazy, bro. Nah, that's wild. Jeez. Can't believe it. You're like that made up place, Ohio. You're from that invented place. Oh, what are you from? Narnia? Oh, I'm from Narnia. Sorry to hear that. Oh, this is crazy. Tomato. It's a tomato, yes. It's a tomato. Would you like some tomato sauce? Tomato. Hey, dude. Want some ketchup, bro? Yeah, can I get ketchup on those fries, dude? Like Peppa Pig. Like Peppa Pig. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah, no, you got me, Channing. Yeah, you got me. Yeah, he's got me. Cursed to live in the UK. He's right. He's right. He's right, he got me. Damn. Peppa Pig. Well, the UK for that matter is crazy, dude. That's crazy. That is absolutely nutty behavior, bro. You got me. No, that's fine. Most people do. Don't worry about it, dude. It's in my blood as well. It's in my blood as well, but it's not. I was when I was like, although like, don't worry. One day, Janny will teach. Janny will teach me Spanish one day, and then I'll just live there with you. You know? Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand the weather in America, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've heard the legends. I just don't understand it. Yeah. I know you will, Jenny. I know you will. I know. Eating paella at 5. Eating a paella at 5 p.m. It was amazing. No, only lunch. You only eat at lunch. Try and stop me. Then why are they selling it at 5? Then why are they selling it at 5? Huh? Think about that. I'll eat it fucking breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Paella. Is that correct? Janny, is that correct? Oh no, it's like the weakest link. It's like the fucking weakest link. Well, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Yeah, to be fair, black pudding is really good. I don't like the bitsiness, but I like the flavour of it. You know? Janny is my go-to Spanish person. she certified me as Miguel during my Spanish arc. So, yeah. Let's not get too specific in the chat, in the stream chat, because this is here forever. This is here forever. So anyway, yeah, let's be vague. Be as vague as you can. Be as vague as you can. It's here forever. Anyway. Actually vampires. Yeah. No, that is true. That is true. Actually are vampires. Yeah. Thanks, Toaster. Appreciate it. That's Momo Ayase from a little show called Dandadan. Dandadan. No, he's going to take back his compliment. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I think it's really cool that your dad watches it. I think it's... You want to see the back of it? You want to see the back of it? I'll show you. I'll show you, though. Oh, come on, get out of the way, chair. You've had your time in the sun. See? It says Dandadan on it. It says Dandadan. Oh, I fucking pull my sleeves down. It also says Dandadan here as well. In fact, guys. Yeah, they spelled Danny Dan wrong. In fact, I'll tell you something else. I'll show you something else. You want to see stuff I got? You want to see my stuff I got for Christmas, guys? Numero uno. I got Seiko. Oh, sorry. Seiko. I got Seiko. Yeah. Yeah, it says Danny Dan. Look, her back comes... It moves. You can remove it. See? See? It says Power of Nessie, probably. Until somebody corrects me, because I know that's what you love to do. Go on, somebody correct me. Actually, that's incorrect translation. That's actually an incorrect translation. Up you go. Uppies. And then, guys, the boy. The boy himself, guys. What do you think? Pretty sick. Pretty sick, wouldn't you say? The posture of evil. This is how in Infamous 2 Cole McGrath stands when you do the evil path. There's a little bit of trivia. And then, yeah, so they get to join my collection of Momos. You know? You get to a phone at first. Ridiculous. They get to join my collection of Momos. So, pretty sick. Pretty sick, wouldn't you say? What else did I get? I swear I got something else. Oh, yeah, I also got this. Hold on. I don't know where to put it yet. Hold on. I'll show you, though. Ever since I got gifted this display by Blissy, thank you, Blissy, I have become a believer. So I got gifted this for Christmas, and it's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. That's right. It's the Kaiju arc from Dandadan, Season 2. It's pretty fucking dope, isn't it? Isn't it fucking cool? I don't know why she's here. She wasn't even there for it. But, you know, whatever. We vibe with it. You see my computer screen. All my secrets. My lighting. My key lighting. No. Spain is only real in the Shrek universe. The Puss in Boots universe. But I haven't decided where I'm putting it yet. I haven't decided where I'm going to put it yet. You know? I also got, obviously, you've seen my tea set. I don't know why I'm just showing you around my room. I'm going to go soon. Obviously, I got my tea set. But I also got this tea infuser. Right? And it's in the shape of a teapot. Pretty cute. Pretty cute. You have one of those as well. Do you actually? That's crazy. That's crazy. Look at it. It's so cute. Yeah. Yeah, it's adorable as fuck, actually. You know? I definitely could do it. I actually could do... you know what? When my voice feels a bit better, I'll send in an audio note into the general chat on Discord, Patreon, link in the description. Join as a free member. To get access to the Discord, it's the best place on the internet for Dandadan, and apparently to also hear rants about the geography of the Shrek universe. Now, I've done a lot of research into the Shrek universe, and I understand a few things about the way that its geography is made up, and Spain is just one big landmass floating there out in the middle of the world. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it's true. So stay tuned. Join the Discord for that, if you want to hear that. I'll do that eventually. Yeah, I've been doing the Patreon ad for a while, but the Patreon ad is to join as a free member, so it's more of a Discord ad than it is a Patreon ad, you know? It's come up a few times. It's come up a few times in the whole discussion of it, you know, of well, a few things. It's probably to do with just generally just Spain, right? No, Shrek is real. Shrek is very real. It's one of the few multiverses that are out there. Yeah, I suppose next week. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a while ago, Janny, to be fair, but no, you've had other things to do, no doubt, what with moving and everything. Congratulations, by the way. But yeah, I'm yeah, so anyway, I'm probably gonna hit it now, but let me think what is worth mentioning in regards to you. Yeah, you, right? Let me think. I am going to be doing some streaming, some game streams this week. That'll be fun. I'm gonna get through the rest of Outer Wilds, I hope. I'm also planning on doing some streaming for Metal Gear Solid 3. I would like to play that and show that to you, I suppose. I'm quite excited to do that. Yeah, so I'm going to try and get some of that done this week while I'm off away from work. And then I'm also going to explore, like I mentioned, I'm going to do some exploring of some exploration of other ideas, right? Alright, see you, support. Explore some other things, some other content ideas, just so that over the next week over the next year we don't just burn out all of the Dandadan stuff, right? You know, there's a lot of things that I want to talk about. Yeah, next year for the exactly. But yeah, I'll inform you guys more on that as it develops. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, or hopefully in the next few fucking days, I'll feel better. But we'll see. But anyway, guys, other than that, for those of you who aren't in the Discord, hope you have a good new year, everybody. This has been a fucking blast of a year, guys. Let's try and hit that 10k, that big old 10k. All right, and then you get your stupid reward. All right, guys, let's do it. Okay, guys, see you guys next time. Bye.